So the last couple of days have been sort of feeling our way, talking to the building inspector to know what we're doing. So here we see we're messing with the layout lines. There's a lot of messing with the layout lines and moving pegs that I mostly haven't included in the videos because it just gets more of the same, gets a bit tedious. And leveling myself out a bit and squirming around so I'm at exactly the right angle that I want to be in a bit of a anal way. So I got a bit of critique of some of this digging, and the general opinion was that I wasn't using long enough strokes. Trying to stop the stones in the surface layer from breaking the sides of the trench was quite tricky, and what I learned from asking was that digging down is better than digging up. So you can kind of do that by pressing down and pushing away from yourself. I also did quite a lot of trying with a smaller bucket so I could get the stones out that were in the middle of the trench, and then go back to the bigger bucket for sort of finalising the size of it. But yeah, it was certainly quite slow going at first, and probably about a quarter the speed of somebody who was experienced in doing this type of work. Partly because they'd probably been bolder. They'd have dug down to exactly the right depth without so much checking as well, I think, because they'd have more of an eye for it. There, I've got the smaller bucket on there, so I'm digging a smaller trench, then I'm widening it out. And it does actually make a neater trench, but the soil changes every few metres here, or in fact even shorter space than that. You go from bits that have got loads of stones in the side, and it's a job to make a trench that's even roughly the same width as the digger bucket. And then you move along a bit, and it digs beautifully, and it's easy. I speeded this up a lot and removed some of the tedious bits for your enjoyment, and so you can see some progress. And yeah, it did. And Richard came from next door to have a look how we were going. So here's a trip inside the trench, and as you can see, some of it is a bit raggedy, and that's with the camera poked down on the tripod so you can have a look. It's quite nice soil really, but you can see where some of those big stones came out. And this is all 80mm deeper than it needed to have been. And then we'll quickly go back in the other direction. Colour balance not so good there. It's more of the orangey colour. Back at the other end you can see all sorts of rubbish that was used to infill the swimming pool when it was decommissioned.